Hello, my name is Mackenzie Stevenson. I am a freshman at TCC and I'm going to school for my elementary education degree. I also have the pleasure of being a preschool teacher, which I have gotten to apply a lot of what I've been learning at school to my classroom right now. One of the most prominent things that I have learned is that teaching is not easy. Working with kids is extremely tiring, and there's a ton of aspects teachers must be thinking about when dealing with their classroom constantly. In the last few decades, there has been tons of scientific research on the development of children, and with that, the whole world of teaching has been changing. A quote by Albert Einstein says, "It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge." Right now, there is a controversy on the pay of teachers. Are they underpaid? This topic is extremely interesting to me because of my background and my profession in the future, but also because teachers are a huge aspect of the world. When people think of the most important jobs, they probably think of doctors or firefighters. Although, when it is thought about a little bit more, teaching is the only career that makes all other careers possible. Teaching is a career that has never been known as the most well-sustaining pay for those working it. With this, it is losing the attraction of people becoming more teachers themselves. Those who do go in the field are doing it because of a passion for the job and not for any extreme benefits of the job. Eric A. Hanschreich is a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution of Stanford University. He has written extensively on the economic value of improved schools. Hanschreich writes in his article in the Education Week, "The nation is stuck with a bad deal on teachers' salary. Salary is insufficient to attract new teachers who can fuel improved schools, and yet not even high enough to satisfy current teachers. This is a problem not only for teachers but for our entire society. Without people willing to go into the teaching field, the later generations will struggle extremely." Later in the same article written by Hanschreich, he talks about an analysis he did that shows teachers were earning 22% less than they could have been when working outside of their field. 22% is a crazy difference, especially for when it's a job that leads to not only academic growth, but entire life skills to children and adults. However, this isn't a new problem. This hasn't appeared, and it's been happening throughout all of history. You can see from this graph how teachers have been significantly underpaid from others with college degrees for some time now. In this article written by Slavia Allegro, it is shown that as with this pay gap of teachers, there is no state that teachers are paid equal or more than comparing college graduates. In 2018 and 2019, there had been major waves of walkouts and protests by teachers in states over this controversy of teachers' pay. The teachers' annual pay had been dropping throughout the last decades, and there are many teachers who have had to have additional jobs or ways of making money in order to make ends meet. These walkouts and strikes were said to be in decades of making. With state budget cuts and the Great Recession, teachers have seen many setbacks and haven't been getting any help. In a poll done by USA Today in 2018, it was shown that nearly 60% of Americans believe that teachers are not compensated fairly for their jobs. The majority of people believe there is an unfair pay for teachers, but there is nothing being done to help them. With this, there has been very little progress made for bettering teacher benefits and pay. While looking at these stats and researching on the topic, there is another factor to consider with the pay of teachers. This is the improvement of learning and schooling. With the pay gap of teachers and the low benefits, less and less people are being inclined to become teachers, and from this, the schools are being negatively affected. If the United States wants to bring the improvement of schools up, research indicates that there must be an increase in the effectiveness of teachers. Growing paychecks don't guarantee the more job satisfaction or effectiveness. However, in recent research, it has been shown that when teachers' pay grows, public schools and systems benefit in a range of ways. In an article written by Denise Marie Ordway, she shows how studies have associated a rise of teachers' pay with improvement of teacher retention, gains in student performance, a larger percentage of high achieving college students taking courses in education, and an increased likelihood of hiring teachers who earned top scores on their educator certification exams. Now, when looking back into the historical event of teachers being underappreciated and underpaid, and seeing the way that it is still affecting our schools to this day, shows an obvious need for change and improvement in schools nationwide. With this pay gap between the teachers and college graduates already, there needs to be a change of either raising teacher pay or equaling out the benefits somehow. With this, schools can benefit and improve on their effectiveness and schooling in general, and it can be overall good for society and the nation. Thank you.